Are we filming? Yes, we are. So, welcome to another video. This is an interesting one. I hope. It's my love-hate. I want to talk about my love-hate relationship with Moleskine notebooks. This is my oldest one. From the 18th of May, 2013 to the 13th of September, 2013. I used to use a lot of Moleskines. Oh, by the way, this is just a slight embellishment that I used to do with some marker pen to make the edges of the pages a little bit different. Strange. I don't do that now, but there we go. But the question is, is there an alternative to a Moleskine notebook? And I don't necessarily mean Moleskine specifically, because as we know, there are others that are just as good, maybe a little bit cheaper, like this one. I don't know how much this one was, but it's very, very similar in size. The Moleskines, these ones are slightly narrower than most of the others. These are more sort of A5 size. These are sort of a more proprietary Moleskine size, but there's nothing wrong with proprietary sizes if that floats your boat. But that was a Moleskine that I've had for 11 years as I record this. This is one I've recently bought. They can be very cheap. They can be cheap if you're willing to search around for them. This one has a recommended retail price of £22.90, and I paid the princely sum of £5.99. Amazing, isn't it? Amazing. I'd rather pay £5.99 than £22.90 here in the UK in 2024. But the big issue with hardbound notebooks, even though they have their qualities, the big issue is, as we know, if you make a mistake, or you want to rearrange the pages, or you want to start afresh, or you are coming to the end of your book and you need to carry another book in case you run out of pages in your first book. Well, these are issues, dilemmas, anxieties, call them what you like, that have to be addressed, accepted, or anticipated in some way, especially if you're coming to the end of a Moleskine notebook. Now, I'm looking ahead here 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. Will what I have written in here still be readable by future generations? It might be. And the fact that it is hardbound, there is a big advantage in that. Let me explain. This has no intrinsic value. You cannot remove the it's not made of leather. It's not a like a filofax, which if you used as a journal, you might find the contents, i.e. what you have written, swiftly separated from the binder in 100 years or 200 years, because that binder will be sold on for whatever the value it is. And you may be lucky that your manuscript survives through the use of careful storage in a shoebox, or rebound, or somehow preserved for even further future generations. But there's an element of survivability by writing in a hardbound notebook, like a Moleskine notebook, simply because of the fact that the actual book itself cannot be sold on. It has no intrinsic value, other than if we wait long enough, 200, 300, 400, 500 years into the future, it might have value as a historical document of life in the 21st century. So there are advantages. And the other advantages are it's sort of it's nice, isn't it? It's nice. I can't really describe it. But it may be real, or it may be the way our minds are manipulated through the marketing of Moleskines, which is very slick, isn't it? It's very slick. It makes us gets our creative juices flowing, and we imagine ourselves with a nice fountain pen on a beach somewhere with a parasol. Maybe someone is serving us iced tea while our creative juices are flowing, and we write the next bestseller, or the closest and dearest memories of our heart to imbue on our future descendants. It just has a nice feel, doesn't it? But there are disadvantages, and I want you to consider today, if you've not considered it before, the elephant in the room, and that is a slimline, personal-sized filofax. There are other, this happens to be one of the Filofax branded binders. It just has, this is a Guildford personal slimline from the early noughties. And it just has a certain feel that I personally like. And there are advantages with this, as you can imagine. The main thing being repositionable pages. So you can get to the end of the book and have some spare paper that you can insert and remove the original pages, so that you have a little production line going. And if you make a mistake, or if you want to add more to your journal or your diary, if you're using one of these as a diary, as an agenda, then this gives you much more versatility, as we all know. But would this be better than one of these? Or would you prefer, is this a Moleskine? No, this isn't a Moleskine, but it's very, very similar in size. So this is equivalent to a pocket Moleskine, but you can also have a pocket Filofax, very, very similar. Or you can go even smaller and have an A7 size. This particular one is a Guildford Mini Extra Slim, which is one of my favourites. It's no longer made, but there are modern alternatives. This one is a plotter. No video of mine is complete without a judicious mention of the plotter notebooks made in Japan, with fantastic leathers and fantastic ring binder mechanisms. But the idea of having a notebook in your pocket with repositionable pages, the advantages cannot be denied. So here's another one. Here's a cheaper alternative. This is a Filofax brand. This is a very, very cheap one. This is called the Domino, and it works very, very well as a pocket notebook instead of using a Moleskine notebook. Works very, 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 very well. So for those of you that haven't tried it and you're still using a Moleskine or similar, a hardbound notebook, particularly if you're into your EDC, your everyday carry, I would respectfully suggest that you try a repositionable notebook through the use of a ring binder mechanism, either a 5-ring mini size, or a 6-ring pocket size, or even a 4-ring pocket size, or even have I got one that's even bigger than this? Yes, I have. So this is a 6-ring personal size. So there's lots and lots of different sizes that could potentially replace your different sized Moleskines or similar hardbacks. Hardbound notebooks. I'm using both for various purposes. So I tend to use repositionable notebooks, i.e. the Filofax and other brands, 95% of the time. But I do like recording notes for posterity, so not an agenda, in one of these. And also I use one of these as a cheap notebook as well for jotting down ideas. And for that purpose, I quite like this size. This is equivalent to a Moleskine Cahier. I think that's how they pronounce them. They're just very, very slim bound volumes. You normally get these in a pack of 3. No tittering at the back there. And they are, this one is an age bag with Clairefontaine paper, which I prefer to the Moleskine paper because there's very little bleed through. Moleskine has well, I'm not really going to comment about Moleskine paper, but for those of you who know, you know. So that is basically what I'm saying today. If you haven't, particularly if you're an EDC user, an everyday carrier, I would say consider using a repositionable ring binder for your notes, your agenda, or even your journal. Who knows? Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Until next time, goodbye.